implemented by ministries, departments and agencies, and is also asking states and local governments to follow suit by drawing up their action plans. Our correspondent Ibrahim Adra reports.
The over 7 years Boko Haram insurgency has proved to be one of Nigeria's difficult challenges. Lives are lost and property running into billions of naira destroyed, dragging the area's worst hit decades backwards. Beyond putting the military might to task, the Nigerian government is embarking on the next phase of the fight. The government's plan to prevent and counter violent extremism is outlined in this document.
This policy framework and national action plan is a complementary approach developed through consultations with Nigerians in and outside the government. We are committed also to implement the framework through the whole of society approach involving all Nigerians.
It followed President Buhari's directive in August of this year. It is said to be born out of consultative process involving stakeholders.
We engaged key stakeholders through a national working group. The national working group consisted of governments, ministries, departments and agencies, civil society organizations, media, labor, students and academic community.
The document is anchored on the belief that the people, culture, and Nigeria's diversity are assets that can be deployed against extremism. At the heart of the plan are women and girls, youths and students, community and religious leaders, among others. To drive the process are the ministries, departments, and agencies, with states and local governments expected to develop their unique framework and action plans. It's a 3-year plan with short, medium, and long-term goals that will require the buy-in of the people to achieve results. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
The president's new approach to fighting extremism signals the beginning of an end to insurgency in Nigeria, especially with the younger ones. But the lostness of the approach can only be appreciated when there are meaningful results. The president is hopeful the new strategy will correct the wrongs of the past, set up a bright future, and stop the excesses of others.
It appears like a new beginning for the federal government. Something just has to be done about the gruesome killings in the country's northeast and militancy in the Niger Delta. The massacre of innocent citizens in that region has defied almost every possible solution since 2009, when the radical Boko Haram terrorist group held sway. The terrorist group has killed tens of thousands of Nigerians since 2009 and displaced more than 2.3 million others. It was ranked the world's deadliest terrorist group by the Global Terrorism Index in 2015. Over the years, the government has faced the terrorists fire for fire. It also claims they have decimated the group, weakened its stronghold, and forcing them into the mountains of the Sambisa forest. But the ruthless terrorists have resorted to suicide bombings, a total departure from their audacious confrontation with the military. Now, President Buhari is seeing beyond just fighting the terrorists. He wants his government to leverage on the gains recorded in the fight, and more importantly, he wants to put a final stop to the violent extremism. He's introducing a reorientation of ideology targeting children, youths, and women. This new plan seems innovative and probably new to the global fight against terrorism. Will this new strategy right the wrongs of the past? That's the big question begging for answers.
Some perspective on the issue. Joining me now is retired military officer Colonel Francis Okosun is here on the News at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you all being here.
Thank you very much.
Now, on the surface, it appears the new framework has little to do with the security, but given the Office of the National Security Advisor is going to also drive this process, what would you say is the implication of this national action plan security-wise?
This is what ought to be done. This is what should have been done before now. We didn't do this, that's why we had Boko Haram. Nobody thought about this, that's why the militants in the Niger Delta reared their heads. Now here it is, there are reasons for unrest, part of which is the human. You address requirements, you address fears of people. The government has decided now to do what should have been done before now. That is to say, engage all stakeholders, NGOs, ministries, departments, agencies, schools, the religious organizations. All these will come in. It's a medium to long-term initiative. And that is what others do, and that's what we should do. Now, I want to make a point here. This is not about addressing Boko Haram. This is just so that we don't have Boko Harams creeping up in the future.
Because Boko Haram is an ideology, for example.
Call it what you may. Boko Haram is a problem on our hands that has to be dealt with, which we are dealing with, which I hope we'll deal with conclusively. But I should also warn that it has gone past the incipient stage and has gotten to where we are now. Dealing with it will not be as simple as most people expect.
Is this the multifaceted approach that we should have applied a long time ago? Will this help to stem the growth of more Boko Harams, like you say?
Precisely. It will help to ameliorate the situation. It will help to deal with those factors that encourage extremism. Boko Haram was extremist, is extremist, and will continue to be so. Call it, brand it anything, ideology or whatever. The truth is, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
And how will this help to improve or stem the situation in the Niger Delta?
Like I said, it was not meant to deal with existing problems. It is just so we don't have multiplicity of related problems in the future. Perhaps seeing government's goodwill, good intentions, probably would help. It will help. Well, this government, after all, is intent on having things done properly. Let's give them a chance. That might just well be the positive impact it will have on the existing ones. But the government is dealing with Boko Haram and the Niger Delta crisis the way they know best.
Then how can this help to correct some of the ideological beliefs that some of these groups will have? You say that, well, this is supposed to stem the multiplicity of other groups of Boko Haram,
yes,
of MEND and so on, these groups
yes,
that are terrorizing areas. Then how will this, what should be the strategy here? I mean, is it sensitization? Is it a call to drop arms? Or what exactly should be the strategy?
Well, before we came on air, I listened to the National Security Advisor reading out snippets of what they intend to do. The package is all-encompassing. The package will include such measures, such steps, such approaches to be used. That is what the entire package will be. Now, I should also add that I am aware that the Office of National Security Advisor, on the sidelines of the last UN General Assembly in New York, did a presentation before the United Nations, which included the ways and means, the way to go about this. And it was accepted as being in line with world best practices. This is the way to go about it. And what the government is doing, I am sure, is the right way to go about it.
Can ideologies like Boko Haram be corrected? And how can they be corrected?
Correct ideology. Ideology is a way of life, it's a way of thinking, it's a thought process. Now, how do you do that? You do that by making sure people are not indoctrinated, and you do it early, nip it in the bud. That's what this initiative is out to do. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. When people have come up with beliefs, it's difficult to rid them of such beliefs. It's just so that we don't have people.
So how do you go about ridding them of such beliefs?
You will read them because the people to read them are the human beings in whose environment they live. They are preachers, they are teachers, they are relations, they are workmates. Those are the people that this initiative is out to preach to. Tell them this is the way to go about it. This is what you do, Mr. Preacher. Don't indoctrinate your people. This is what you do, Mr. Teacher. Teach your people the right things. Mr. Parent, tell your daughter or your son the way to go about living a decent life. Not to tell a child that if they put strap bombs around their body and go and detonate and kill people, that they go to heaven. I mean, that's indoctrination gone awry.
I suppose this action plan will also include, will also tackle the issue of cyber recruitments, because just as we have seen in advanced countries, people are being radicalized online. They're not actually meeting these people face to face. They're being radicalized online. And I believe almost the same thing is happening in Nigeria. People are watching some of these videos that help to radicalize them. So now,
let me say this: if this proposal was presented in the United Nations General Assembly and it was found to be proper and adequate, I want to believe that it must have addressed relevant areas, facets, and factors. I am very positive about that.
Colonel Francis Okosun, thank you.
Today you got the name right.
That's okay, I got the name
Thank you
right.
very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being with us on that.
Thank you very much.